Morning. It's Monday the 21st of October 2024. That's it. Today we're going to talk about women, believe it or not.
I'll never forget my
5.5 weeks at the top. But before that, bad news about Sir Chris Hoy. He's got a cancer diagnosis, terminal diagnosis. And along with a few more who will not hear about, so we wish him well. It's not good, but seems pretty positive, how positive as you can be with that diagnosis. It's also 21st of the 10th, 66. It's the anniversary of the Aberfan disaster, when, for people younger than me, will probably not really know, but that's when the pit tip in Aberfan slid on primary school and killed loads of kids and a couple of teachers, and 58 years ago. I can remember it like it was yesterday. Well, not quite. I can remember it better than yesterday. But yeah, on about women, Kate O'Ryan, she's this writer, poet, well, she's done this poem called Being a Woman, and it's been all over social media. I suppose a lot of people have seen it. I know more than 1 million people have seen it, but I thought it's worthy of a post on here because it's like it's incredibly powerful, moving, thoughtful, thought-provoking, really good. And it's just, I watched it once and I thought, I can't believe what I mean. Must have listened to it 3 times. And having 2 daughters of my own and 4 granddaughters, it is a worry, innit, being a woman, and it shouldn't be. Anyway, just listen to this poem, see what you think.
At what point do you tell a girl a park's not just for play? At night time, stay away, there's danger lurking all around. And round about dusk, the rustles in the bushes might be home to something much more menacing than bushy-tailed creatures that are out to steal your crisps. The risks of a shortcut. I bet your Uber's kept afloat out of women's pockets, makes its profits as the cons of walking home alone far outweighs the pros. And does she know that she'll pay for a taxi to avoid getting murdered by a stranger, then spend the entire journey aware of the danger that this might be the stranger who will finally murder her? If I had £1 for all the pounds lost due to the cost of having to consider getting home without a costman, I still wouldn't earn the same as men. But then again, the system's rigged to constantly remind us our beauty is behind us, and so we must invest in lotions and potions, the extent of the ocean, to maintain a sense of relevance. I'm relatively sure if I'd have saved all the money that promised flatter tummies or younger skin or looking thin or better hair or buying uncomfortable underwear for him, he might be halfway to a mortgage. But more than that, I'd have a sense of power back. They profit off our lack, you see. Attack appearance constantly, confine us to the binary of slut or saint. We can't escape, we're both attainted. We're well acquainted with the shame, born into a losing game. And it's the same with contraception. Sex is no exception. We're expected to bear the burden, or else bear a burden that we never expected, hadn't projected for. And if we're lucky enough to get the pill for free, the bill will be floated by our bloated bodies. And it can cost us anything from mood swings and low sex drive to blood clots and higher rates of suicidal thoughts and depression. It's given the impression that we accept this as part of the course of womanhood, but it is understood that we would never expect this for a man, and who would trust them anyway. So we'll pay more to conform to societal norms, even down to spending more on our school uniforms. 12% more for a girl's blazer, not to mention on tampons and razors. It's crazy, but so normalised that it used to not faze me. Sometimes I wonder who I'd be if I existed just for me, if my entire existence hadn't consisted of persistently viewing myself through a male's gaze, if the haze lifted and I could wear whatever the fuck I want without consequence. And yet, I'm well aware of the hypocrisy of getting older. I'm well aware that not too far from now, their looks I once despised, I'll begin to crave. It's exposing in their light, but so much colder in their shade. If a woman falls in a forest and there's no man there to save her, can she even say she lived at all? I dread the moment I might feel invisible, where my aging body is less considerable. No wonder people are getting surgery to feel less fucking miserable. Do you know how it feels to hover above yourself? Hyper-aware, the left foot in the present, the right not really there because it's running away with itself, preparing itself for what could possibly go wrong because it has gone wrong. I'm tired of constant vigilance. I'm tired of constant vigils. They seem to be rising without uprising, and yet we act surprised every time another woman gets killed. Don't be too nice, it'll get you killed. Don't be so rude, it'll get you killed. Socialised into a politeness that still gets us killed. They rap bitch at us, and then within the same breath they complain they're not getting enough respect, and it's reflected in real life. It's reflected in banter with the guys, it's reflected in the wage gap, the thigh gap, the orgasm gap, the fact that victims are rarely believed, the fact that justice is barely achieved, the fact that it costs us so much more to just be. So tell me, because I want to hear what you have to say for it. At what point do you tell your girl her life is only worth what she is able to pay for it? Thank you.
How good was that? Shouldn't have to be like that, should it? And I think it's important that all women see it, and more important that all men see it and listen to it. Have a great day, everybody. It's been a gloomy one this morning, but you know what? Things can only get better, as they say. Wakey, wake!